So it will be hard to find someone who sells boots that is more handmade than what I do, I think. Uncle Dan's Boots. Today we're gonna talk about a video where a well-known YouTuber in what we like in the boots world mentioned Uncle Dan's Boots. And why did he mention me? I'm gonna show you a small clip of what happened.
To be honest, I know very few people who actually do everything by hand, including stitching the pattern pieces together without any kind of stitching machine. One of them is a Canadian maker called Uncle Dan's Boots on Instagram.
Okay, so as you saw, he's talking about handmade, handcraft boots. And the thing is that it's a little bit like organic food and stuff like that, where people can use it anyway in any situation. So a lot of handmade, handcraft boots they really are, in the way that for me, handmade and craft, a machine should not do the sewing. In the way I know though that there's a lot of ability to take the shoe or the boots and then put it under and do the thing with the machine. There's a lot of ability and important. But for me, my head, when I thought that handmade and sewed and craft was doing with a needle, okay, with a needle through the leather, and not just like the stitch down construction like what I do, but for me it was all the upper. Okay, and that's why he mentioned me, is that there's very not a lot of people that ensue the upper. And when I mean that, I know there's people at home, when they doing that, but me, I start doing that and I didn't stop yet, because I'm at my 38 pair of boots done, and I did it all by sewing everything sewed. It was with a needle. So let's see, I'm gonna show you what's the look of handmade, let's say with a machine boots, and with handmade and shoe like I do. What's the difference right now? Okay, so what we have here is a boot that was made, a vintage boot that was made in Fredericton, New Brunswick, by the company Art Shoes. And as you can see, you will see that this very nice boots, but the stitch are made by hand. What's what they said, but by a machine. It's okay. So stitch machine. Of course, you have to be pretty good to do that. Very nice. The stitch per inch are pretty high, and it's just well made, you know. Very nice boot. Yeah. There's no really imperfection in there. It's very precise, very machine-like. It is nice still. Now we're gonna see one of my boots that I made, and you're gonna see that it's not the same. Okay, first of all, the thread is you can see more the thread because different color than the boot, and there's more stitch per less stitch per inch. But for me, all that give character to the boat. It gives life to that boat. It's not the same kind of construction. Same, me when I do that, it takes me hours, like hours, that I have to concentrate and do what I have to do, and a machine takes minutes. Okay, so it's a big difference. This is another boat that I made. You can see the stitch. It's pretty nice still, but it's different. And you can see down the stitch down. Some boats are made with a stitch down construction that they do also by hand. But what the big difference with me is that I sew the upper also by hand. So that's the big difference. It takes a lot of time, but I find that the character it gives to the boats, it worth that time still. And so now I can see boat. Okay, big difference. Not the same exactly kind of boat, but you can see the difference in the stitch there. Okay, I think it's important to say what I do by hand. Okay, all my sewing is done by hand. All my cutting is done by hand. Everything's done by hand. All the cutting of the leather, or the cutting of the by hand, like really with a blade, with the cutting of the soles, the cutting of the heel stack. The heel stack, I did do my heel stack and my soles myself. The only thing, to be honest, is I used a sander. To sand at first around the sole, and then I finish by hand. Also, it's just been lately, I also use a 5-in-1 for cutting, taking off most of the around the sole, and then finish by hand. So that's it. That's what I do. Everything by hand, like a one-man shop. That's how I do my things. So that's why tech from Bootlosophy channel, amazing channel that I was looking at for years, mentioned Uncle Dan's boots. And it was funny because I listened to tech for numbers of years, and I was listening to his new video. I didn't know, he mentioned me. I think it was Saturday, or I don't know, morning or something like that. Listen to it, and then he mentioned Uncle Dan's boot. I was really happy that he was talking about that, the handcraft thing, and then he mentioned me. It was very nice of him. So that's it for today. Next time I'm gonna show you something different that I'm working on, a sneak peek. Oops. Next time.